Sagan.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Hodag's Favorite Redstone, a series where we basically take one particular thing in Minecraft, in this case sugarcane, and I show you how it grows, where it grows, a couple of interesting ways to farm it, and then I break it down into my favorite way to farm it and show you how to build that thing. So without further ado, let's get to the sugarcane. First, we're going to take a look at what you can do when you first start the game, and you need some sugarcane. You don't have the redstone, you don't have a lot of resources to make hoppers and other things to make it automatic yet, but you do need that sugarcane. Now the first and most compact look you can do here is something along this pattern here. I'll just kind of breeze over it so you guys can get an idea of what's going on here. But basically that's the most compact sugarcane that you can have because you needed to have water on all sides irrigating it. Okay, but basically I put the lily pads here that said you can run over the whole farm like this and gather this up. However, if you're not near a swamp or something like that, you're not going to be able to get little lily pads. You're going to have sugarcane falling in the water, and that gets annoying unless you put half slabs on top of that or something like that. But this first sugarcane farm is going to be a little bit annoying. It will serve its purpose, you'll get sugarcane, but you're probably not going to want to stay with it for very long. Personally, when I first start out, I want to do something like this. I put half slabs or blocks over the top of the water, and I also do this right along the side of a river or an ocean or something like that, where I don't even have to really make the water. But I can just go straight through like this, mine up all the sugarcane at eye level, and then I have tons of sugarcane, wait for it to regrow, and repeat the process. It's a little bit slow, but so is everything else right when we start. Next up, we have a couple farms here for those of you guys who think you really know what you're doing with redstone when it comes to carrots, potatoes, beetroot, and wheat. Basically, you're like, oh man, I'm going to use water to harvest all the sugarcane. Well, water doesn't harvest sugarcane. The only reason those feel broke right there is because this water did need something to go and it basically overpowered the sugarcane. But you can see that it doesn't actually push the sugarcane out of the way and it will not harvest the sugarcane. So you're kind of out of luck on that one. But if you're looking for a good carrot, wheat, potato, beetroot, all that farm, you can go ahead and copy this. Dispensers down here. The only problem is I wouldn't use a lever because you kind of need to do like a 2-tick thing in order to turn the water back off or on. So now it's back off. Now it's back on. If you're smart, you'll just use a button because that already does the 2-tick thing for you. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now we get to the good stuff. One of the most used things to harvest sugarcane in Minecraft here is pistons. Okay, so basically what's going to happen here is you don't want to mine this bottom one, or you don't want to harvest the bottom one, because those are going to regrow and replenish your sugarcane over time. But we push the button, bloop, and the pistons extend, they break all the stuff on top, you go through, pick up all your sugarcane, and it's a good life, you guys. And it's super simple, you just have a button, connect it to the back of these pistons, and you're good. Now some of you might be thinking, okay, you only need this bottom row because that's going to harvest both rows, and that's fine then. And that is fine, unless you have a hopper pickup system or you have some sort of water system and you want most of your sugarcane to land here instead of on top of your sugarcane, then you're going to want to use 2 rows because this top row will push that sugarcane on the top out a little bit further. You're still going to lose a couple here and there, or you might even push too far sometimes and lose some over here unless you build your collection system big enough so that you can pick it all up. So keep that in mind. Okay, you redstone whizzes, check this out. This redstone here causes automatic refiring of that same piston system we had before that is too high, except this time there's no button, there's no lever, there's no anything. It's just going to automatically fire every 30 seconds or 1 minute or 45 seconds or however long you want it to wait. You basically just have to go back here. This is an Etho clock. For those of you guys who are for some reason looking at me for redstone and not at Etho, you're doing it wrong. There's going to be a link in the description. Go check him out. Etho's Lab, Etho. Guy knows what he's doing. He's been making redstone since before I was born in Minecraft, basically. Okay, subscribe to him, please. Okay, but basically this is his hopper system. What happens here is there's 2 hoppers facing into each other. They both have, I don't know, 10 items or something in it. If there's 10 items over here, they're going to be 10 items flowing into this one. When they get here, they're going to flow back into this one. This causes a difference in power in these comparators on both sides. So sometimes this one's stronger, sometimes that one's stronger. So comparatively, sometimes this piston is stronger, and sometimes this piston is stronger. That's why you can see these 2 pistons kind of having like a power struggle, tug of war type of thing. But basically every time this redstone block gets pushed over here, it goes through this monostable circuit, it gives a 1-tick pulse to all these pistons, which are a little bit overdone. I kind of got crazy with these. But long story short, it causes these pistons to fire every 30 seconds or so, or whenever I decide however long they can, because I can put a different amount of items in those hoppers. So as long as I'm in my base, I'm getting free sugarcane. We're getting more fancy. Here we go. This one's by Nims TV, you guys. He's using a system of quasi-connectivity, it's called within Minecraft, which is kind of a bug, but kind of not. It's kind of tricky, though. But basically what it does is, instead of having an Etho clock back there, which is still firing and harvesting this sugarcane, instead you use quasi-connectivity, and you just use the sugarcane itself. When this sugarcane grows up and occupies this space, it's going to cause a chain reaction that goes ahead and pushes the entire back wall out and harvests all of our sugarcane. So just as an example, there you go. So again, it does automatically farm all of your sugarcane. It just depends on this. This is our clock. As soon as this grows, whether it grows first or it grows last, it's going to harvest that entire back row, which is pretty nice. It's kind of a simple clock. Go check out Nims TV. He's down in the description too. Miak? Well, I don't know how to say his name, but the dude came up with another cool system. Okay, he's still got the piston pushing thing in the back. He's still got the sugarcane here. And you can see that it's not fully grown. That's because every time it comes to daytime, he's using a daylight sensor in order to harvest his. So basically, he uses an entire day and night cycle, and then will harvest his sugarcane. Every time the day comes, this thing gets power, goes again through the monostable circuit, and it shoots off our pistons back here, and we collect our sugar. Completely automatic again. That's right, it's slime block time, everybody. As soon as the slime blocks were introduced into the game, new sugarcane farms came out, because slime blocks are just fun, okay? Now you might wonder why there's leaves around here. That's because I needed an immovable block, because otherwise these slime blocks kind of attach to anything and everything and mess up the whole farm. So I kind of went overboard with the leaves, but that's why they're there. Now, you might have noticed on all these other farms with the pistons, sometimes the sugarcane goes 1, 2, 3 blocks out, something like that, and it might get lost if it just falls right on top of the sugarcane stalks, like right down here. But with slime blocks, that's not a problem. 10 to 15 blocks out, something like that, it'll fire your sugarcane further than anything else. So basically the only problem you really have is you gotta build a wall here or something to stop the sugarcane from going so far so that you can actually collect it. Either that or you gotta build a collection system that goes out about 15 blocks, which is a little bit waste, I think. But it is definitely very fun. Now, all you need to do is hook this whole thing here, this little array, which is really powered by only one piston, which is kinda nice. Hook it up to a daylight sensor, hook it up to an Etho hopper clop, hook it up to a quasi-connectivity kind of switch, and you got yourself a slime block, piston, sugarcane farm, which is completely automatic just like the rest of them. But you guys, the last farm we're going to check out here is by a guy named Noodles Minecraft. Go on YouTube, go down in the description, check him out, subscribe to him. I'm sure he's got a couple other cool contraptions too, but he basically harvests the sugarcane using sticky pistons. It doesn't make maybe a lot of sense, but let's check it out. Pretty cool. The pistons work their way straight across the top, and then they stop, wait for it to harvest again, and then you can push the piston to go back. You could hook this up to some sort of daylight sensor. You could hook it up to a hopper clock. You can hook it up to something like that so that it is automatic. It might be a little bit more complicated to collect the sugarcane, because as you can see, it kind of flies all over the place. But no doubt is definitely a fun way to collect the sugarcane, or definitely a fun way to harvest the sugarcane at least. Last but very not least, we have Hodag's favorite farm. Here we go. It relies on that whole concept of quasi-connectivity, which I'm going to try to explain a little bit here. Basically, if this piston had a power source anywhere touching it, on either side, top, bottom, left, or right, it would be extended right now. This block is powered. Now, basically the piston right now is going, well, I think I got power, I'm not sure I got power. If you basically get a block update on any kind of side of it, if I place a block on the bottom, the front, back, left, right, whatever, it's going to cause the piston to go, oh wait, I do have power. And it extends. However, it's still like not really connected, so it doesn't know that, hey, I should probably retract. So let's turn the power off, then cause it a block update on any side, and it will retract again. Turn the power on, and you can keep doing the same. And basically, this is the system that we're going to use on our farm here. Now you can see if I look at it from the side that we got a long line of pistons, a long line of powered blocks on the top over here, and that's basically the same concept we have it over here. However, it's going to happen very fast, so I'm going to try to explain it. Every time sugarcane grows, it gets instantly harvested. Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky to explain, but I'm going to try my best. Okay, just like when we placed a block, when it was powered over here, and we placed a block anywhere around this piston, and it said, oh yeah, I got power. The same thing happens here. As soon as this sugarcane grows up, and there's a block update to this piston, it goes, cool, I got power, it extends. At that very same instant, this piston also extends, and it cuts the power to this whole thing. It turns the power off. Now that the power is off, all of a sudden this piston goes, oh wait, there's no sugarcane here, that's a block update. And it will retract. Then the sand by that point falls back down, repowers the system, and you're ready to place another sugarcane. It happens very quick, but our power source, by the way, is this furnace. 14 sugarcane in this furnace, or 14 blocks of any kind, except for things that don't stack, will basically be transferred through this sand block, picked up by the comparator, traveled 2 blocks if it's 14 or more. The redstone repeater picks it up and extends it to 15 blocks and powers all of our pistons here. So that's more or less the farm in a nutshell. You can grow it on mycelium. You can use water streams to collect all of your sugarcane, but as you can see here, we're missing some of the sugarcane. It's within the sugarcane blocks here, and it's falling past it too, so you are losing some. This is one of my favorite systems. If we watch for just a second, that sugarcane gets picked up. It'll get picked up because there's hopper minecarts below, but there have been problems recently in Minecraft where hopper minecarts have been disappearing and a couple other things that are glitching. So it maybe not be the best system, I don't know. If you have the resources for it and you got the hoppers, you can place hoppers underneath the sand, you can place hoppers next to the sand, or somewhere else over on the third part here, and it could potentially collect every single piece of sugarcane and create no loss. At the moment, I kind of like the hopper minecart system just because I haven't built too many of those, but you might want to go with the hoppers if you can. And last but not least, let's build this thing. Okay, all of you sugarcane enthusiasts, let's build this thing. Now, if you look down into my hotbar, you're going to see everything that you need to know. Okay, you need to have a number of different building blocks. I'm going to use blocks of iron. You're going to need 1 furnace, 15 blocks of sand, 1 redstone repeater, 1 redstone comparator, 14 sugarcane pieces to put in your furnace, but then you'll also need sugarcane to plant. And then 17 redstone dust, 15 regular pistons, and of course you'll need a bunch of water to irrigate your redstone. Not your redstone, your sugarcane. Anyway, you go to the right side of the farm here, you're going to need a 3 by 17 kind of space for this farm. You're going to come to the right side and we're going to knock out 14 blocks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, because this is where all of our water goes. So go ahead and put your water in there. Once you're done with that, we're going to cover that water up because we don't want any of our sugarcane dropping in there and being lost and wasted, because that's not cool. And then you're just going to extend that line straight to the end. So now you're going to grab your pistons, go 3 blocks from the left side, and have an upward facing piston. And then you can go ahead and keep that building blocks there. You can take the rest of your pistons and go 1, 2, 3, all the way forward facing pistons, because these are what are going to actually harvest your sugarcane like this. Okay? Now that you got that, grab your building blocks again, come around to the back, and we're going to build that diagonal thing here, so we got the quasi-connectivity eventually hooked up, and that's going to extend all the way across the back. So right now your farm should look like this, with your pistons and your building blocks, and your water of course underneath those. Then of course we can't put sugarcane on iron blocks, so let's go ahead and figure out where we're going to put it in front of all the forward facing pistons. Go ahead and place your sand or your dirt or your mycelium or whatever you're going to put your sugarcane on there. So then go ahead and plant your sugarcane. We got 14 stalks per farm here, which is kind of nice. Then we need a block of sand on top of the upward facing piston. We're going to want a furnace right next to that, and we're going to want to put 14 sugarcane inside of our furnace. You're going to want a comparator that's going into this block of sand, redstone dust, repeater facing in that direction, and then 15 redstone straight across the top here. That is your farm completely done. Then you just need to pick a collection system and you can start getting all the sugarcane. I truly hope that today's redstone video, today's favorite things from Hodag, helped you in some way for your sugarcane needs. However, I do recommend, I must strongly encourage you guys to go on in the description, check out all the links that I have down there. Go ahead and check out these other guys who are making all these redstone tutorials, redstone farms, things like that. They're doing a lot better job than me, and a lot of times because their main thing is redstone, they've been doing it for much longer. So go check out Mum, go check out Nims, go check out Etho, go check out all these other guys, subscribe to them. If you're subscribed to me but not to them, and you're interested in redstone and automation and things like that, you're doing it wrong. But I hope you had a great time today checking out this tutorial video. Thank you for stopping by. I hope it was helpful, and have a great day, you guys.